Hello everybody, and welcome back to Markers and Monsters. As always, I'm your host, Colin, and if you're like me and you're living here in the United States of America, tomorrow is the holiday of Thanksgiving. Now, this is a national holiday where basically we're just celebrating, hey, winter's coming, fall's over. Let's give thanks to all the good things we have, like a lot of food and family and stuff like that. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about some things that I am thankful for. I'm thankful for my health, my friends and my family, the ability I have to just draw and make videos of it. That is something I am thankful for. And I am also thankful for Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla is awesome, and I am so grateful that he exists, and I live in a world where there are Godzilla movies. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me, I guess. So I thought, what the heck? Let's draw Godzilla for Thanksgiving. Why not, right? Hey, it's my show, and I can do whatever I want with it. So to start with here, I just kind of am sketching in him loosely. Godzilla's kind of an odd-shaped creature, so it's good to look at a bunch of different reference photos from different angles and stuff like that, and you can kind of get a general gist for like his head shape and that. I find it hard to draw like dead-on creatures with snouts, like horses and stuff. You really have to watch the foreshortening there, where everything kind of squishes up, and it's can be a challenge to make it look right. But hey, I've drawn Godzilla a whole bunch of times, so this is this kind of old hand for me. And of course, Godzilla's green, so we're going to start greening him up here with this. Now, I didn't choose like a really truly Godzilla green type of color. In the older Godzilla movies, he's a lot like darker green, or even like a extremely dark forest green. He almost looks black or gray, depending on how he's shot. And I'm not talking about the black and white movies either, where he's obviously black and gray, but just in general, he's very, very dark green. So yeah, I kind of just put in this light green here, and then what's going to happen is the ink is going to get textured on top of him, and then that's going to kind of make him a lot darker. And then, of course, for the sky here, I'm kind of putting in some destruction behind him, because, hey, Godzilla, that's kind of his MO. That's what he does. I don't begrudge him that. But this yellow sky to kind of indicate that things are not all right in the city of Tokyo, where I assume he's at. Things are getting really messed up and destroyed. So that's always fun. And just keeping it pretty simple. This is more or less like a little portrait of him rather than a full body shot of him destroying a city or anything. So the background's less important. It's just there to just give the impression of a place where he's at. He's in the city and he's destroying things. So that's pretty cool. Now, I've been a fan of Godzilla movies for a while. I always remember them being on TNT. Like Monster Vision would always show Godzilla movies, and it was always a lot of fun. Even my dad would stop and watch them when they were on, and just see these stupid little miniature tanks getting stepped on in the old ones, and that was always a lot of fun. Just to see those types of special effects. Now everything's done in computers, but I'd love to see a Godzilla movie where there's teeny tiny miniature RC tanks that get stepped on or melted down by his atomic breath. Now, I guess I should get into what is Godzilla, in case there's someone out there watching that doesn't know what Godzilla is. Usually I do that on this show, and I just didn't cross my mind this time, because I figured, hey, everybody knows Godzilla. But Godzilla is a Japanese monster from a series of films. There's 24 of them, 26. They made a couple more recently, which is awesome. And so Godzilla is this gigantic lizard monster that comes from the ocean floor or somewhere else, depending on which movie you're watching. There's a bunch of different origins and retcons and stuff like that. And he comes up to wreak havoc on the surface world, or sometimes, depending on the movie, he comes up to defend and save the world, which those are always my favorite. I like Godzilla personally, but again, it's just a preference. I still enjoy movies where he's the bad guy. I just love to see him fight other more evil monsters. But yeah, he's got a very, very recognizable design, And he's actually a lot of fun to draw, and he's got these kind of scales on him, which I'm adding in here with the ink now. You're starting to see on like the arm, and you'll see the whole body it will eventually get that way. But yeah, Godzilla is a ton, and if you like your monster movies cheesy, with lots of action and crazy guys in suits stepping on buildings and fighting each other, and especially in the old movies, the bad dubbing, which is always fun to watch, then you probably will get a kick out of Godzilla. I know I certainly do. Now, like I said, there's a whole bunch of Godzilla movies out there, so my favorites, actually, I would say that my favorite Godzilla movie, or at least the one I think is the most entertaining to watch, is Godzilla Final Wars from 2004. I love this because it's got all the different Godzilla monsters in it. You've got not just Godzilla, but you've got Mothra, Rodan, Anguirus, the Smog monster, Hedorah, I believe the name is, or that's how it's pronounced. So like all these different monsters are in it, and Godzilla fights them all, and it's just this huge monster mash, and I absolutely love that. I also really like Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, where Space Godzilla kidnaps Godzilla's kid, and Godzilla has to go get him back. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, is one of the older movies, but I find it very entertaining and a ton of fun. Plus, first appearance of King Ghidorah, Godzilla's arch nemesis. Yes, this giant lizard guy has an arch enemy, and he's pretty awesome. Big three-headed space dragon is a good one. And then, of course, the first Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters, is always just a fun movie to watch. So, yeah. Some of my favorite Godzilla monsters would be, King Ghidorah, which you mentioned before, Mothra. I really love Anguirus, who I always think is Godzilla's BFF. They fight things together. Gigan, which is a giant space monster with a buzzsaw in his chest. And in Final Wars, he gets upgraded to have chainsaw hands because these movies can't get any weirder. And then they do, which is awesome. But yeah, so Godzilla, he's been around for I'm going to say over 60 years at this point. His first movie came to American shores in 1956, I believe, and then the first Godzilla movie in Japan was released in 1954. So a long and storied history, and like I said, am incredibly thankful that I live in a world where Godzilla movies exist and are a thing. So let's wrap up the drawing here. As you can see, I'm just kind of giving that impression of the city and adding in some of that smoke there in the background, just some kind of lines for background impression. And looking pretty cool. Let's touch him up here a bit with the eraser. Let's sign our name down at the bottom here, right in that the shadow of his arm with the white. And let's take a look at the scan. So very, very cool. Hey guys, I had fun working on Godzilla. And tell me what you're thankful for in the comments below. And hey, wherever you are in the world, if you're here in the States having Thanksgiving tomorrow, or you're somewhere else, and whatever you're doing, be safe, have fun, enjoy your life, and we can all be thankful for the little things, I think, and the big things too. But that's it for me today. This was Colin from Markers and Monsters, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Markers and Monsters.